The Center for Unhindered Living presents Plus Size Polyamory with Judy McMath, where our motto is, don't follow the crowd, follow your heart. Episode 16, What's Wrong with Unicorn Hunting? Good morning. I hope you're having a great day so far. Welcome to episode 16. This particular topic has been requested by a listener. And no matter how many articles I read or people I talk to, this topic seems to always be misunderstood. As a result, people are participating in the practice getting hurt. So today we're going to talk about what is unicorn hunting and why it is so destructive. But first, I'd like to ask you to consider becoming a patron of our show. If you've found something of value in our work, you can pledge as little as $1 a month and get access to some neat patron benefits. Just click on the Become a Patron button at the top of the podcast page or go to patron.podbean.com/pspolyamory. And thanks for your support. Now, what is unicorn hunting? If you don't know what a unicorn hunter is, that's simply an established couple, a heterosexual man and a bisexual woman, that's searching for another bisexual woman that is open to a relationship with both the man and the woman in the existing relationship, but to no one else, who will love them both equally and agree to the rules that the couple has already decided are healthy for their relationship. She's expected to fit into their relationship without changing the existing relationship with the couple, and if they feel that she's not following any rule, she's out to protect the couple. There's a reason we call them unicorns. They don't exist. And there's a reason we call them unicorn hunters. They're predatory. Now, is it possible to be in a triad that's healthy? Yes, it is. But one has to realize that it is not fair to expect the third person to follow rules they had no part in making. In other words, looking for a third person is fine. Just realize that when you find them, all the rules of your previous relationship need to be renegotiated, and the third person should get an equal say in what the rules are. Now let's step back a minute and talk about my definition of polyamory. Polyamory is the freedom to give my love to as many people as I want, at any time that I want, in any way that I want. If anyone is trying to place restrictions on me, that's not freedom. I have no right to dictate to my husband or any other partner who they can see, how many people they can see, how their relationship should be structured, who they can kiss, who they can have sex with, or anything else. That's none of my business, and vice versa. Now, we can choose to make agreements, such as choosing to agree not to see anyone on Wednesdays because that's the day we've set aside for each other. But that's not a rule that's being arbitrarily forced upon us. It's an agreement that we both agree to. Now, I know that in polyamory, everyone gets to make their own rules, boundaries, and agreements, and there's no right or wrong way to do polyamory, technically. But in my opinion, forcing someone to follow rules they didn't have any say in is not ethical. Just my opinion. Take it for what it's worth. Not only that, but rules are only effective as long as they're not broken. Sounds obvious, but think about it. If you trust someone not to break a rule, then why make it a demand? You should be able to be honest about your needs and boundaries and be able to ask your partner to meet your needs where they can and respect your boundaries. If they don't or won't, then setting a rule isn't going to change anything. Not only that, but rules don't meet needs. They only restrict your partners without actually helping you with your needs. If you want to make the rule of you can't kiss other partners, then figure out why you want to make that rule and think of it more in the frame of a request for your needs, such as, I would like you to be more physically affectionate with me because it helps me to feel wanted. It's perfectly fine to have boundaries and deal breakers. These are different from rules in that there's something that you genuinely won't do. You're not demanding that your partner change to fit your rules, but you're rather being upfront about what you're unable to handle. These often have nothing to do with any existing relationships, and they could be big or small. You may be asexual and want to be upfront that you want a romantic but not a sexual relationship. You may want to make it clear that you never intend to get married or have children with anyone. You might want to say that you'll never do BDSM, or that it's absolutely essential in all your relationships. You may not be willing to be in a relationship with someone who smokes, or someone who's not a vegetarian. You may be unwilling to be in a sexual relationship with someone who has herpes or HIV. Or you may be one of those people who has those conditions and want to be upfront with any partners in case they have that hard limit. Once you've gotten past the deal breakers and boundaries, you can move on to agreements and other softer limits. These often should be met, but not set in stone. For instance, how much time can you commit to spending with this person? That answer may change in the future, but for now, you should be honest about such things. Communicate these expectations as often as you feel that they change for you or for the other person. Now, how do you protect your existing relationship? One of the reasons that the existing relationship in the triad wants to make these rules and wants the third person to follow them is to protect their relationship at all costs. So how do you protect your existing relationship? Well, the answer is you can't. And you shouldn't try. It's impossible to keep any relationship from changing. To be healthy, all relationships must grow and change. Don't set rules to combat jealousy. If you say that your wife can't kiss her new boyfriend, which is a surprisingly common rule, it doesn't keep them from becoming intimate or close. It simply builds resentment that the rule is in place, and perhaps even paranoia on your part that the rule was broken. Not only that, but if you're the unicorn hunter, you're often only setting up rules that affect the third person, not your existing relationship. And this is completely unfair, and telling the other person that they are less important in the triad. One of the biggest problems with unicorn hunters is that they often tell the third person that they need to divide their time, affection, and sexual interaction equally between the existing partners, without offering the same to that person. Not that making that offer would help, since it's impossible to promise an equal division of any of those three things. Every person involved in a relationship is equally important, but they may not want to be or able to be offering the same amount of time, priority, or affection. Conversely, don't feel as though you are entitled to that person's priority, time, or affection over giving it to someone else. So the bottom line is, unicorn hunting is not a good practice. If you want to look for a third person for your triad, that's fine. But don't expect them to follow the rules you've set down. Allow them to help you renegotiate the rules. Make them feel like an equal partner in this three-person group. Don't make them feel like a second-class citizen, someone that you've just recruited to meet your own needs. They have needs as well, and they're just as important as yours. Visit the Center for Unhindered Living's blog at unhindered-living.com. Join our Facebook page at facebook.com/unhinderedliving. Have something to say about this? Leave a comment. Join the discussion. Thanks for listening, and have a great day. Currently, episodes of this podcast can be found on Spotify, Breaker, Google Podcasts, Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Pocket Casts, Amazon Music, and Radio Public, as well as our YouTube channel. Thanks for listening. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.